Hello everyone, this is Sheshe, and today I am coming on by request to show you how I made this gatefold easel card. Alright, so I'm going to show you how I made it. There may be an easier way to do it, but this is just how I did it. So what you'll need is this die set. I got it from AliExpress. It's a layering set. It measures 4.5 inches wide. So to make the easel part, you're going to take some cardstock, like the 8.5 by 11. You're going to fold it in half because we need this card base. So I'm just going to take it and fold it like this. And this is for the people who asked me to do this in real time. I don't know how long this video will take, but I did try to pre-cut everything to keep it as short as possible. So in the video I showed you that I took the heart, and what you're going to do is put it to the edge of the paper and lay it on your platform and run it through your die cutting machine so that you'll have a top folding heart. Okay, so I'm going to do that now so you can see how it turns out. And if you're using some really thick cardstock, and that's where I struggled, it may not cut through all the way and you'll have to run it through again. So I'm using some light cardstock for the video so that we won't have that problem. So I'm going to run this through and you will see how it cuts out. Okay. So it cuts out like this. Alright, so take that away, and I'm going to work on the card that needs to go side folding. Now this is where I also struggled, and I'll show you how I fixed that. So what you'll need is another piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 inches going across. It's going to overlap, and the reason why I had it go to overlap is because I wanted my card to have clean on the inside where you don't see like anything like any divots in there. So it looks like everything was cut evenly. But if you want it to look a certain way, then you figure out the measurements. But all I did was I trimmed everything down after the fact, and I just used a ruler and a pencil, and I'll show you what I did. So here's my card, and I measured it at 2.25 inches, and I scored it. I flipped it, and I scored it at 2.5 inches. So that's what you see me doing in the video that I have going in fast motion. So when I did that, because it's really hard to judge how evenly you have it when you're doing the sides, you want to make sure that when you place it on your die cutting platform, you want to tape it down with washi tape so that it doesn't slide. You need these edges to cut off so that you can do the interlocking part. So I'm going to get my washi tape and tape it down. That's what you see me doing in the video. And you may have to cut out some extra hearts to also get it looking even, and you'll need a pencil and a ruler so that you can get it looking right. I mean, like I said, there may be an easier way to do it, but this is how I figured it out, and that's how I worked out the problem. Because I tried it with the equal measurements, but then when you get to this part, it's like, how do you judge if this is equal or not? It's still hard to do, even when you tape it down. So I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, and you'll see what I'm talking about, how it comes out. One side will be bigger than the other, and you'll have to trim it down and get it equal. I mean, you can try to make it shorter, but it's still, you'll still have to figure out how to trim it. So I'd rather have more than less. Okay, this is where I had a little bit more on this side and I had a little less, so it's not too bad, but that's where you see me on the video trying to cover up that, so it's not too bad. So you'll need to die cut a couple of hearts to fix that problem, so it doesn't show too bad when you're doing the interlocking part and you're opening it up. So that's what I wanted to show when you're measuring it out at 2 1/4, because like I said, it's hard to judge if it's right in the middle when you're trying to cut off the sides. Because you need these flaps for both sides. It would be different if you had a die that cut everything out in one shot and it was all like this. But we don't have that here, and you have to make it yourself. Okay, next we're going to create the easel part. So what you're going to do is fold this, like decide how far back you want this to go. So we're just going to fold this back, and I just need something to crease it. Let's see, where did I put that? That bone folder. I think my finger will do, but we'll just crease it, and you know, it'll stand up on its own, you know. And then this is the part where you'll glue the gatefold part too. So we did that part. So that's all you do. You just decide how far you want it to go and then fold it. So that is that. And now we're going to work on this. So like I said, this is how the gatefold looks. It's kind of a mess right now. So I just took a ruler, and here's my bone folder. I just took a ruler and drew a line where I need to cut. So I have my scissors here, and this will get this a little bit more even. So I'm just going to cut off the part that is too much, and then we're going to fix this. Okay, so I have that now. So it still looks a mess. It's not too bad though. So I have some pieces here that I have, you know, to fix the heart so that it looks like a full heart. So you have to glue this on anyway because the sides are not complete, because we needed to do that for the gatefold. So I am going to glue this down. Okay, next we're going to work on gluing the interlocking part to the base. So what you're going to do is add some glue to this part, and then you're just going to lay it flat so that it's even, and press it down. So then when it stands up, it's all together like so. So you will need some stoppers. So I've cut out 2 hearts, and I just taped them together with some washi tape so that it's even when you cut out 2. And we'll just glue these together so that it's layered. And then you just decide how far back you want the stopper to go. And you can cut this out in any color. I just chose white. So I'm just going to decide how far back I want it to stand. So that's about how far back I want it to go. And it stands, as you can see. So the next part is pretty easy. I've already embossed a second layer and cut it out and everything. So like I said, I'd already did this. I'm just going to glue on these layers so that we can work on the interlocking part to this. Now if you don't want it to have a layering piece, it's up to you. I just chose to have where there's a border. But it's really all up to you. And so next what we're going to do is understand how the interlocking part is. So I've already cut out these 2 pieces, but I wanted you to understand that when this part is cut out, it also cuts out the heart. So what I did was I wanted to have a frame for this middle piece to interlock into. So what I did was I taped this. There's a 3rd heart that this heart comes out of this frame, so I wanted to create another frame. So I wanted you to understand how I got that piece. So I'm just going to show you how I got that. So I'm just going to die cut it real quick. Because I didn't show it in the video where it came from. It came from me doing this. And this is where the ring came from. So this is what happens. I glue this piece onto this piece. Like that. Okay, so as I explained, we want this to interlock. So what you'll need to do is glue half, which is the right side, like that, and this needs to go on just the right side of the heart, like so. See, it's just on the right side. The ring, we want it to go on the left side. So what you're going to do is make sure it fits on the heart. We know it fits perfectly because we cut it out using the die. So we're just going to glue on just the left part of the heart, and that's it. And we're going to fit it perfectly around the heart, just like that, and press it down. So that when we open it, well, we want to give it time to dry, the glue. But when we open it, it's going to interlock, just like that. And then it'll go perfectly back into itself. But that is how that works. And then you want to do the other one just like that and only do the left side. I did not cut out a piece for the center because this is pretty much the tutorial. You can decorate the center how you wish. And this is going to fit perfectly around that heart because this came out of the center of that heart as well. And we're just only placing glue on the left side. And just to complete the card, I did make some white flowers, just like the other one. And there you have it. It stands up and it interlocks. The only thing that I didn't do is put something on the back, which you can easily do, you know, just to complete the card. And that would be the back piece, just so that it has a whole piece. Didn't cover that part, but there you have it. And then, you know, for the inside, this is where you would write your message if you know, wanted to know where do you write your message. But, you know, you would put the, you know, whatever on the inside of the card. You know, that's where I put the other die cut, and this is where it stands up like that. So I hope this is helpful to the people that said my video went too fast and you couldn't see what I did. That's about it. So take care, everyone. If you have any other questions after I've done all this, then I'll do my best to answer your questions. So take care, everyone, and have a fabulous day.